This is very exciting. I thought this would happen, but I wasn't sure how quickly it would happen. You can see mounds of frog spawn. You can see loads and loads of frogs. Now, I'm keeping my distance, I don't want to scare them, so apologies for the shaky camera. Look at this. Move slowly. You can see they're in the shade mostly. Look at the big blobs of spawn. Then over here, you can hear them croaking as well. And the traffic's not getting in the way. And there's a few males and females in amplexus. I'm sneaking up behind a bush here. You can hear the croaking very well now. Now this is my jacuzzi pond. Look at all the spawn. Mounds of it. Frogs everywhere. This one's actually walking on the spawn. I'm counting about 30. They all appeared overnight. I mean, there's been a few in there over the last few days, but last night. There's a mating pair. What happens is the male fertilizes each egg as it's laid. He doesn't actually do anything to the female other than hang on to her to make sure he can fertilize the eggs as they are ejected from her body. Oh, there's a nice one. You hear those croaks, they're mating calls. There's probably about 50 in here altogether. Incredible. I'm going to try and go around to the other side. And they've stopped croaking. Look at this. It's better now. I'm on a sunny side And they've relaxed with me here, they're not bothered by me. This is fantastic. And what I'm doing is kind of a funny method I have. See, I'm standing with the bushes here, and they stopped as soon as I raised my hand. Well, actually they're going again. So a little bit breezy, but that's good when you're trying to photograph creatures which are afraid of movement. And the frogs are afraid of movement, but they settle down once they know you're not going to hurt them. Sorry, I've got the sun behind me. So here I am, and so I've got my camera, and here are the frogs. I'm about my own height away from them. You see, the village is getting noisy now, and there's cyclists on the road yammering away. The frogs don't care though. Look at that. Yeah. And these are all European common frog, Rana temporaria. The only frog species in Ireland. We do have a toad species, which is the natterjack toad, and it seems to have been here since the Ice Age actually, or even before. Look at these guys though. It's a total orgy. That's a very female there, I'd say. If I'd been a little earlier now in the morning, there wouldn't be quite so much noise on the road. This could go all night, and it's great fun to look at anyway. Look at that. I mean, how many are there? And all the spawn. It's good, they're churning up that duckweed, which is great. And the reason that they're here is because I've cleared off the pond. I emptied the pond of all the weeds. It's a very well oxygenated pond, but frogs squirming about in it will even make it more oxygenated. They're very loud, you see. People don't realise that Irish frogs actually croak very loudly during the mating season. And that, of course, is children in the playground, not frogs. Look at, there's one that keeps climbing up onto the spawn, which is hilarious. Well, you can't argue with spring when this is going on to the degree that's going on. I keep trying to count them and then they move. Kind of hard not to. It becomes a little bit of addiction. It could be like counting sheep though, I'd end up asleep in a minute. They're kind of in two groups, and the reason for that is that on either side of Jacuzzi there's a little seat, a kind of a ledge, which is designed so you can sit on the edge before you lower yourself in. But that's where the frogs are. They're on both ledges, and the deep bits then are here closest to me. You can see the ledges because of the plants that are sitting on them. But it goes to show you all you need is water and they will come. I have an earthen ramp on the back of it here, which I have to battle against certain plants getting into the pond, such as brambles, of course, which are always trying to take over everything. That's wonderful because I knew once I saw a lot of movement in the pond, even though there was no croaking, that there was going to be frog spawn. And this is as good as it gets. Of course, this could go on for days. weeks even. Days. It'll all end suddenly. Oh, here's a handsome one. Look at this one. As soon as I put the camera, it's just looking over the... There's two together in amplexus, which is when the male puts his arms around the female, holds onto her to mate. Although, I think now they've broken up. Really exciting. You can see the lovely patterns. And there's one that's wearing a lot of duckweed. Just the eye sticking out underneath. And oh, there's so much spawn. This is going to be full of tadpoles. And these will all have been born here probably, and they've come back. They tend to go back to the ponds they were born in. And even on the peripheries of the pond, over here, which is a bit harder to film, there are frogs everywhere. Oh, there could be 100 in here, I think. It's hard to know. I mean, every time I think I've seen all of them, more of them pop up. I could stay here all day. Better give up.